Senator Barack Obama!
Particularly to my wife. But, you know, I actually think that the reason that I'm getting so much attention right now has less to do with me and more to do with you. I think to some degree I've become a shorthand or a symbol or a stand-in for now and reassert our values and our ideals and our politics. And that doesn't depend on one person. That doesn't depend on me or the governor or a congressman or a speaker. It depends on you. That's hard to understand because that's not the politics that we've been seeing of late. In fact, I was doing a book signing down in Portsmouth, and the title of the book that I just wrote is called The Audacity of Hope. And some people have asked me about the title. And his premise was very simple. He said, the easiest thing in the world to do is to be simple. You have every good reason not to expect much. You open up the newspapers, you look on television, what do you see? You see violence and strife and corruption and injustice, war, poverty, famine. So it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to, at some point, say to yourself, that is the world as it is. And there's not much you can do about it. And in fact, maybe your best strategy is to withdraw as much as possible. And draw a circle around yourself and protect yourself, make as much money as courage. What's risky, what's truly audacious is to hope. To believe that somehow that the world as it is not the world as it has to be. That in fact, through the application of will and imagination, you can make the world anew. And I love that idea. I loved it for myself because it implied that to be hopeful is not to be ignorant of problems. It's not to ignore poverty. It's not to ignore inequality. It's not to ignore injustice. It's to look at those things squarely in the face and still believe that we can make a difference. To still insist that something else is possible. I loved it as a personal model. But what I also loved was the fact that the phrase described, I think, an essential part of the American character. At each and every juncture of our history, there's been somebody who said, we can do better. There's been somebody who has been unwilling to settle for equality for the few, or opportunity for some, or freedom for a handful, and have said, we think that we can create a country where everybody's got a shot, where every child can dream, where everybody can apply themselves and work hard and take responsibility and arrive at the American dream. And I think what's going to happen over these last several months is people have realized that that kind of spirit has been lost over the last decade. That it's not that ordinary people. It's not that ordinary people have forgotten how to dream big dreams. They just think that their leadership has forgotten how. I want to know, why can't we have a government that reflects the values of the voters? Why should we be reading about scandal and chicanery and nonsense every day? Why can't we expect, maybe not perfection, but that people are going to be representing their voters and not these special interests, and that they're not taking free meals, they're not taking any benefits. But I think the message we have to get to is that we're going to be come together on it. We understand, by the way, that no party has a monopoly on virtue, and that all of us have to be attentive to ethics. And then most of all, people looked at Iraq, and they said, we can't waste our most precious resource, our young men and women. That their sacrifice will have been worth it, that it will make us more secure. You know, I have town hall meetings sometimes in Illinois, are not about who's up or down. They're not about personal attacks. They're not about tactical advantage. They're not about making a few folks an easy buck. They're about who we are as a people, and what we believe in, and what we're willing to do to make sure that we have the kind of country that our children deserve. And I think that's what people woke up to in this last election. And it offers us the chance to lead. It offers us Democrats the opportunity to lead. People are hungry and they are waiting. And the question is, are we going to be able to deliver over the next 2 years and then in the years beyond? And that's the obligation that Paul and Carol are going to have to meet. That's the obligation that the governor and the new speaker and the president of the Senate are going to have to do. That's my obligation, is to make sure that I'm willing to partner with the American people on the common sense, pragmatic, non-ideological agenda that they're hungry for to meet the challenges that we face. Imagination and hard work, a sense of responsibility, a sense of sacrifice, ultimately a sense of hope. Ultimately, it is that spirit upon which this country is based, upon which almost all your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents came here. It is that spirit upon which these things will be accomplished. If we do that, then I am absolutely confident that we will live up to the traditions that have made this country great. If we do this, then I'm absolutely positive that the American people are going to respond. And as long as there's a child out there who does not have responsibility, then we have to be ready to respond. As long as there is a senior citizen out there who is not being cared for, we have to be ready to respond. I am telling you, New Hampshire, America is ready to turn the page. America is ready for a new set of challenges. This is our time. A new generation is preparing to lead. You are part of that, and I am grateful to be a partner with you on that. New Hampshire, thank you very much.